Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we have an update on the city nurse, Karen person. Well, apparently they are heading for defamation lawsuits. Now, of course, these race grifters and the media are going to be facing some defamation lawsuit because of the fact that they, been calling her a racist and all that jazz. Some people are saying that that they're race grifters. Sure, they may be race grifters, but I'll also call them racist because that's what they are. They don't care and they take everything out of context to cause hate. She's apparently also been receiving death threats and among many other things that is happening to her. Here's the one thing where they're showing the actual receipts, and we'll go over many other stuff throughout the video, so stay tuned.
The bizarre "this is my city bike, not yours" story that went viral on social media.
We showed you earlier this week the hospital worker who got into a nasty confrontation with several young men who said they paid for the city bike. And well, now, nearly a week later, the woman claims she has a receipt for that bike.
So what didn't she say during all this, during the dust-up? Here's Kimberly Richardson.
Now in hiding, Justin Marino tells me his client, the woman there in the scrubs, is getting threats, all after this video surfaced, which has been viewed by millions.
Her reactions and her responses, they're understandable given, the hysteria that was going on in her mind.
The clash with a group of young men unfolded here at this docking station in Kips Bay on Friday. The physician's assistant just wrapped up a shift at Bellevue and was heading home. Marino says right before the recording started, what you don't see, the hospital worker picking a bike, paying for it, and undocking it.
One of those individuals then physically pushed the bike back into the docking station to lock it.
He says this receipt proves his client undocked the bike for just 1 minute at no charge. Still, one of the men claims it's his and the pair continues tussling over the bike. Then this.
I'm not touching you.
Marino says his client is 6 months pregnant. Many feel this reminds them of those heated moments between a bird watcher and a woman walking her dog in Central Park in 2020. Marino strongly disagrees.
There is no racial component to it. If these individuals had the same skin color, you and I aren't speaking.
Bellevue says the employee is currently out on leave while it reviews the matter. Marino wouldn't elaborate.
Why not withdraw from that situation and get another bike?
Yes, in hindsight, would she have preferred to, give up to the demand of those individuals and quickly go? Certainly. But while she was there, that was her bike. She had reserved it, and she had every right to take it.
Some of you guys may be wondering why they would be getting why the receipts are blurred. Well, if you guys didn't know, she was getting death threats and others and people coming to her house and stuff because of the racist media and the people trying to push a narrative they did not know and pretty much allowing to cause problems for her. This is the reason why the receipts are blurred. Now, of course, we have more information on this from Twitter and stuff like that we actually see the receipts now and can clearly see that this is all insanity. So the racists, I would like to say, are being put on blast. And this is the actual video and clip of them telling about the defamation lawsuits and the death threats she's being received and then what's being media. And I also have some comments about that at the end as well because, well, there's one thing I just don't really believe there.
That is a pregnant woman in New York City, a physician's assistant, now placed on leave from the hospital, showing her arguing with a man over a rental bike while the small group crowds around and heckles her. Justin Marino is the attorney who represents that nurse with me in studio, and good morning to you. Her name is Sarah Comrie. She lives in New York. What happened here?
What happened is she got off a 12-hour shift at Bellevue Hospital, and she tried to go home. She went to a vacant bike where no one was touching, no one was on. She mounted the bike, she paid for the bike. She ended up actually pulling back off the docking station. And then around that time, these individuals were claiming that that was their bike. Someone pushed the bike while she was on it back into the docking station, so it locked again. And the rest of the video is shown. That's where the video picks up, where she is effectively fighting to
I've got a million questions. Let me try to get to a couple of them. Why does she need an attorney?
She's an attorney because there's a great fear that her employer is going to cater to the media and fire her. And that's where I come in as an employment attorney. She also needs an attorney to state the truth, what actually occurred.
Okay, to our viewers then, this is what's called Citi Bike.
Correct.
Like a lot of American cities now, you can pay for a bike and use it for a while. And she alleges that she paid for the bike, took it off the stand, was approached by 5 gentlemen, I think.
There was a number of individuals, correct.
About 5. They claim we had the reservation on the bike. She puts the bike back into the locking station. A minute later, she rents another one, essentially.
Correct.
And then eventually goes on her way. You have 2 receipts that show the time that she rented them. I've seen them. I assume you use this as your best evidence.
That's correct. And these receipts show that she rented the bike. The serial numbers match, so there's no question that the bike that she is on in that video is a bike that she reserved. And we know that she certainly didn't reserve that bike after this incident, which means she reserved it prior to the video taking place, which means it was her bike and she was the first one there.
So here's from this is New York Health and Hospitals, Bellevue, where the video involving a healthcare provider off duty and away from the hospital campus. The incident in the video is disturbing. The provider is currently out on leave and will remain on leave pending a review. As a health system, we are committed to providing an environment for our patients and staff that's free of discrimination of any kind. Is that what is at play here?
Well, there's a lot of at play. I mean, obviously her job is important. It's critical and they can do their investigation, take the time they need. But I mean, she's received death threats. You know, her family she's in hiding. You know, what's at play is what social media did to this woman who is literally a hero and has done nothing but help people, and within 1 minute effectively tries to ruin her life.
Okay, but I'm keying in on this last line, free of discrimination. Do they allege this is racism?
That's what the media portrays, and that's what it looks like.
But that's what her employer is saying here.
Correct. That's what it looks like.
Okay, could this just have been an ugly miscommunication?
I mean, that's all effectively this is. Race has nothing to do with it. If the skin colors were the same, we would not be here today.
Okay, she could lose her job?
Certainly.
Okay, what did the other gentleman, what has he said? Because you can hear on the video saying, get your hand off of me, or, and he says, I'm not touching you. You're putting your stomach on my hand. And she's 6 months pregnant, so she's larger than she would be normally, physically.
Right. And I mean, his statement, I mean, you're a pregnant woman. What is the part of the body you protect the most? Your stomach. Through this video, incredibly distressing for her, someone else, a third party, a stranger, is actually touching her stomach, and he's giving an excuse saying, you're putting your stomach on my hand.
Continue.
And the reason his arm is there, it's not intentional, but it is intentional that his hand is covering the QR code on the handlebar, which means she can't then reserve that bike.
Gotcha. Did the other person work at that hospital too?
I don't know. I haven't spoke to that other individual.
Well, when are you going to get an answer, sir?
We are going to get an answer when we start filing defamation lawsuits.
Wow. It's going to go to that? You
well,
feel that
the
your
media
has been defamed?
Without question. She's been called a racist. She's been called a thief. There are reasons defamation laws exist, and we plan to pursue that.
Okay. There is a witness to this who apparently talked her into renting another bike.
That's correct.
And what's his story?
I can't speak. I haven't spoke to the other individual. And I want to be very clear. Our defamation is against the media and the way they blew this into a disaster.
Specifically, which media?
Every organization that referred to her as a Karen, a racist, and a thief.
Wow. Looking for money, or what are you looking for?
Looking to right or wrong. We're doing that here through the public, letting them know what happened, but we're going to do it through the court system as well, so that these institutions are going to think twice before they try to ruin someone's life.
Okay, we'll follow it and see whether or not she has a job after this investigation on behalf of the hospital is conducted.
Absolutely. And I also want to add,
yes, sir.
We have no ill will towards these young men. And in fact, we wish them the best. Our focus here is on the media who defamed her.
Okay, Justin Marino, the attorney for this woman. Thank you.
So yeah, as you can see, death threats have been ensued, defamation lawsuits are coming in this way, and I think that a lot of these people should probably be very, very scared, considering the fact that they are on the chopping block. So what we have here is from Tariq Nasheed, one of the racist/race grifters that you would want to see in your life. Of course, I hate these type of people, and I'll always hate these type of people. going to say that I suspect a white supremacist woman tried to steal a city bike from a black kid after he paid for it, and when him and his friends wouldn't allow her to steal it, she went through all the Karen tactics to try to get the black youth hemmed up, screaming for help, fake crying, male babbling. Okay, so maybe you haven't been around women that are pregnant, right? Which is, you know, not a shocker, because I wouldn't be surprised no woman would ever want to sleep with you. But another thing is that women go through a lot of emotional things when they are pregnant. It is quite common. So her shifting through emotions and stuff like that is quite normal. I know this is amazing for you, and you probably don't know very much about women, and you probably also shame women multiple times, especially white women, because you hate them white women. So, you know, yeah, that's probably where you're probably going to go with this. Along as well is that this guy seems to also be a full-blown idiot, because he continues to say, FYI, that receipt that the suspect's lawyer provided raises more questions. Why would the lawyer blur out and hide the time of the bike purchase? And why is these no charge on the receipt? This suggests that the bike was already purchased by the black youth. Of course, we have this Drew 2 guy. He says you don't get charged when the ride gets canceled by a mob of youths trying to rob you. And thanks to you guys, she's already got people coming to her house. She doesn't want you to know when she gets off work. So what we have here, guys, is this is the actual receipt here. The first receipt shows a bike seen in the video was paid for and taken out before it was relocked 1 minute later, identified by the number on the handle. So this is the actual number of it. The documents show that the ride was ultimately canceled and she wasn't charged before booking another bike minutes after the incident. So we have this here, and of course this is very, very blurry, but as you can see here, this is what you have. The time is actually blocked. But yeah, you could probably give, even with this saying the May 12th and then May 12th here, you could probably put 2 and 2 together, realizing that this is probably a very close in time to when she was getting the bike. So yeah, and especially after the reports of saying the 1 minute later. It says, this person also says, this retard also says, this, why is the timeline blurred though? He goes on to say, the way that all the same violent freaks you've collected in your replies gonna come and attack her after work? Yeah, wonder why. They show the receipts to the media and multiple outlets confirm the timestamps. Even if they released it unblurred, you would just say the whole thing was Photoshop because you're a neurotic race grifter who makes a living off of hate. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. These people are not worth our time. They are dangerous, racist people that deserve to be put into the gulag because they are not worth of today's society. I hate these people. I hate these racists. Maybe at one point in time they will actually get served. Maybe the defamation lawsuits may rethink their actual ability. But of course, even if they do get served and they force these defamation lawsuits, they'll probably still go on to their racist propaganda BS because that's who they are at heart. Alright guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.